Hail, Grey Warden.
If the rest of the Grey Wardens are anything like you, they certainly deserve their reputation.
We must not exhaust our supplies. As you say. Very well. It shall be done.
Let's have at it!
I shall do it.
Careful!
Thank you. I didn't expect the band's men to notice my escape so quickly. I tried to hide here in the woods, but there wasn't time. And now I'm a dead man. You were there in Ostagar. You know how things went. For me, it was either this, or die in some darkspawn's belly, or be hung as a deserter. You were there with the Grey Wardens. One of Duncan's new recruits. I was to guard the king. He was my friend, understand? Maker. All that time in Ban Loren's prison. And I couldn't stop thinking about all they suffered that one dark night at Ostagar. I know. Even had Logain's men not turned their backs on us, the Darkspawn were too many. Even Cailan, for all his bravado, knew there would be no victory at Ostagar. The king entrusted me with the key to the royal arms chest. If anything were to happen to him, he said, it was vital I deliver it to the Wardens.
The royal arms chest. It's where Cailan kept his father's sword, the one he always said he'd slay the archdemon with.
More than that, there was a secret compartment where he kept documents concerning his dealings with Empress Selene and the Orlesians. He didn't get the chance. Duncan was so busy with the new recruits and keeping Logain at bay. Whatever his reasoning, it's me Cailan entrusted it to. The Maker has a sense of humor, doesn't he? I suppose it's for the best, however. Had I kept it, it would be in Ban Loren's hands by now.
But you said Cailan entrusted it to you.
I was afraid. I thought I would lose it on the battlefield, so I stashed it in the camp. Please, it's probably still there. I hope not. Would they know how to work the lock, even if they did?
The Darkspawn are more cunning than we give them credit for. But the king trusted that lock with his secrets. I'd guess that the contents of that chest are still intact.
The key's behind a loose stone at the base of a statue. I'll draw a map for you, so you'll know where to search.
You'll be taking me along, won't you? Call me sentimental, but I left behind some dark spawn that really deserve a sword through the middle.
The events at Ostagar still haunt my thoughts, Warden. If that is where we are headed, I would like to accompany you.
It is vital that the king's documents do not fall into the wrong hands. As for Marik's sword, it is too powerful to be pawed at by those monsters. Same for the king's other arms and armor. And if you happen to find Cailan's body, see it off. He was our king. He shouldn't be left to rot amidst the Darkspawn's filth.
I see them. Southbound.
It is begun. Very well.
Makes me feel old, Win.
And what exactly are you implying, Alistair?
What? What? Nothing. No, I just thought...
You just thought I might be an expert at feeling old and could share some sage advice.
I just mean that I was a different person then. I believed him, you know? That it would be a glorious battle, that we'd win.
I did too. We were all a little bit younger the last time we were here.
Well, not you. You've always been old.
With lips like that, son, you'll be lucky if you live to be half my age.
I shall do it. It shall be done. As you say, it shall be done. I shall do it.
Absolute violence is a solution. Sometimes you forced our hands.
Oh, the fool thing! It shall be done. I shall do it. It is begun.
What's the matter, Alistair?
I don't know, it just feels wrong to find us here. Poured over by Darkspawn and thick with their rot. It was his.
I know, I feel it too. But he is not the first king to ever fall in battle, or even the first to fall to the Darkspawn.
Yes, but this wound cuts deeper.
And it will bleed longer. But we must keep moving. No doubt the Darkspawn are eager to give us plenty more reasons to mourn.
It shall be done. I shall do it. As you say.
I will
shall be done. It is begun.
We are victorious.
On it.
Very well. As you say. It shall be done. I shall do it. Another point. It is begun. It shall be done. As you say. I shall do it. It shall be done. It is begun. Very well. I shall do it. It shall be done. As you say. Ha! Miss! It is over. Darkspawn has sensed it. It's begun.
I never liked this part.
It's begun. Very good. It's begun. It's begun. Very well. I shall. It shall be done. It's begun. As you say.
It is done.
We must gain the advantage!
You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen. I know, it seems almost irreverent to use her as a curative, and it is also a tiny bit morbid. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her. Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of.
Ask away.
What's on your mind? It is no trouble.
Task is finished.
So it's true. He had convinced the forces of Orlais to ally against the Darkspawn.
Empress Celine was merely awaiting his response.
A response that never came, and now never will, thanks to Loghain's treachery.
Never is a long time, Alistair. Give it time, and let cooler heads prevail. There will be peace between us yet.
Well, I hope you live to see it, Wynne.
And I hope the Darkspawn don't.
spawn!
Darkspawn.
Very well. I shall do it. Begun.
Make a preserver.
Shall be done.
That what you've got?
As you say.
My rights.
Very well. I must maintain. More the fool say! Dark spawn! I shall do it. It shall be done. It is begun. Foolish! Look there, cunning trap. As you say. It shall be done.
Push them back!
It is begun. I shall do it. As you say. Damn you! Shall be done. As you say. I shall do it.
Here comes trouble!
Let's do this.
It's a trap. Look there, cunning trap. I shall do it. There, more of the fiends ahead. Very well. It is begun. Very well. I shall do it. As you say. It is begun. Very well. I shall do it. It shall be done. I shall do it.
You forced our hand! I see them.
Darkspawn have sensed us.
Darkspawn.
It is begun. Very well. It is begun, as you want. I shall proceed. As you say. Very well. It shall be done. It is begun. As you say. I shall do it. It is begun. Very well. It shall be done. As you say. I shall do it. shall be done. Very well. I shall do it. Shall be done. Shall be done. Very well. As you say. Shall be done. It has begun. I shall do it. Very well. It has begun. Shall be done. Very well. I shall do it.
Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
Down the hole and into the deep. I don't even want to imagine where that leads.
I see them. Dark spawn.
What manner of beast is this? Very well.
Watch out!
By the maker! Be careful now! As you say. It's begun, as you say. Shall be done. Very well. I shall do it. As you say.
Even more darkspawn.
I shall do it. Quickly, we must fight! Shall be done. It is begun. I'm done. What manner of beast is this? Very well. I shall do as you say. Shall be done. I will not take it. As you say. No glory in mercy!
Well, look now.
It is begun. As you say. It shall be done. Very well. I shall do it. I must. It is begun. It shall be done. Very well. I shall do it. Begun. Very well. It shall be done.
I think we work well together.
Darkspawn! It is begun. Very well. It shall be done. Begun.
Not allowed.
It shall be done. It is begun, as you say. Very well. It is begun.
There it is. The last of them.
It has been a long day. By the lines around your eyes, I dare say you look as old as I.
And if I may say so, milady, you appear to be getting younger by the day.
Careful who you flirt with, young man. When you wake up beside me tomorrow morning, I'll be back to reminding you of your grandmother.
Beside you?
You heard what I said. It would not be the first time I woke to a younger man in my bed.
Are all women this evil and conniving when they grow old?
Just me, my dear. Just me. Alistair, are you all right?
Oh, they left him here to rot. We need to do something. He was a good man who hoped too much and died too young. He deserves what little honor we can afford to grant him. Ask away. Of course.
Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. I shall treasure it. Thank you. I've a question, if I may. Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity. Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave? Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes? What say you? By all means. My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days? Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics. How should I know? I got the impression it involved sex, but then I get that impression about most everything. Odd, really. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning. Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly. At first, yes. Well, not upset. Surprised is really a better word. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the Crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around. I got stupid, in fact, and very lucky. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see. And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days. What say you? By all means. Again? Well, what might interest you, I wonder? Shall I describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning? I watched a man go through all 7 once. Oh, no, I'll not inflict that upon you just yet. Let's see, how about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Osrin. Did you hear of that down in these parts? Me? Not personally, but I did take part in the attack. Prince Osrin was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Osrin once and for all. I was in one of those cells. Antivan royalty is very much bound up in the Crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of commoners, after all, would you? And this means they get involved in politics quite often. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a Crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small part. My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too. At least they didn't cut my throat. And that was my part in history. It's true. I live a charmed life. One of the prostitutes that raised me was a fortune teller. Said I wouldn't die young. She was rather startled by that. But there you go. Tale told. Let's be off before I tell more embarrassing stories, huh? What say you? That smell. This is Antivan leather, isn't it? I would know that anywhere. I don't know how you found it, but thank you. Now, if only you could find me a prostitute or two, a bowl of fish chowder, and a corrupt politician, I'd really feel like I was home. And they fit as well. Marvelous. What say you? By all means. Well, the only one that's really worth telling is the story of the mission right before I came to Ferelden. But no, I would rather not. I shouldn't have said anything. Thank you. Perhaps another day, huh? What say you? I suppose the crows are already furious, yes? What harm is another tweak to their nose? If you wish to be trained in the basics of an assassin, I can certainly show you. Or anyone else who is also a rogue. It shall be fun. I will make it fun, I promise. What say you? Again? I'm game.
Ask away. Of course. Others, yes, but not yourself. I need someone who's trained first as a warrior. It's as much about discipline as anything. I guess if I'm going to give up Chantry secrets, I may as well go all the way. Send whoever you want trained to me in camp, and I'll see what I can do.
What is your wish, Kadan? Speak, then. We have no mages such as you do. We have beasts in the shape of men who perform tricks. We have mages, we simply don't have the sort you do. Our mages are controlled to do less harm than yours. They have their tongues cut out and are kept in pens. As a fish stranded by the tide knows the air, or a drowning man knows the sea, so does a mage know magic. Knowledge is one half of wisdom, but there are many things that can only be known too late. Parshera, are we going to fight the Darkspawn, or chatter until they grow bored and leave? Very well. I misspoke. They are not beasts. Beasts learn eventually. Life is fair. Is there some reason you insist upon discussing this? I applaud your attempt to pursue knowledge, irritating as it may be. I know nothing of mages themselves, only their actions. There is no use talking of this. We should move on. Very well. Clearly your Chantry agrees. My people have a tale. An Ashkari walked among the fields once, observing the laborers at work. Flax bloomed all around him, the color of still water. The air rippled like a curtain. As he stopped to examine a blossom, a bee stung him on the hand. The Ashkari turned to a laborer for aid and noticed for the first time the heavy gloves and coat she wore. As she tended to him, the Ashkari asked them why she was dressed so in such stifling heat. "To avoid your fate," she replied. "But there are many thousands of bees here," the Ashkari said to her, "and only one stung me. Surely your caution is unwarranted." "The stinger is always a surprise," agreed the laborer. "But so is the bee that simply passes one by." I've been saving them up. We should not linger here. Very well. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. The writings of the Ashkari Koslan, the Kyun, it is the path to wisdom. Ask a Tamasran. They know how to explain things to children. It is not for me to teach the Kyun. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. I am hardly surprised. Very well. As you wish.
What comes, my friend? So, full of questions, are you? Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not. What comes, my friend? We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. A fine gift. You have my thanks. A fine gift. You have my thanks.
Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
What's on your mind? It is no trouble.
It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do. On, then.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.